In this exciting episode, we're going to install the HappiJac. You might have seen it in the background in a few of the other videos, but today is the day where we're going to get it in and the bed frame done and everything up and running so we can sleep in it. So first things first, let's rewind back to when we had an emptier shell and actually put the HappiJac frame in.
Today we are going to attempt to install this bed lift. So in our van you might have seen that we had a bed lift for our main bed, and the Caravan is going to be much the same, but we've got a slightly different mechanism.
This is a HappiJac bed lift. It's chain driven. You can see the chain in there. The one in the van that we had was a seatbelt driven lift, and it lowered from the ceiling, whereas this mechanism raises and lowers from the sides. This is quite a bit more heavy duty, but they both do the same job and they both seem to do it quite well. But yeah, we've had to install a little bit of extra stuff in the Caravan to fix it too. So we've got some boards that have been glued to the side. This is what we actually screw the bed lift to.
But the reason that we have had to put the packers in is because this pole here is part of the system, and it only has a certain length, and obviously the van is a little bit wider than what the pole is, but also it works as a packer to also, because we're also going to have our windows here. Okay, what's the plan?
Alright, just lift it up and slide it in. I'll do this side, you do that side. Okay, shall we go?
Yeah. Tell you what, this is significantly easier to put in a bed lift system in a square box rather than in the van where everything is curved, and when the bed goes up and down, you know, it got narrower at the roof, and this is just so much easier. Just screw it up and it's ready to go. What do you think?
And much easier to put in than I thought it was going to be. So we are still waiting on, I've got a switch, but I had to order the switch and the cable to connect the switch completely separately, which was super annoying. So still waiting on the cable, but yeah, we'll get some power to it. And
then we have to build a frame for the actual bed to go up and down, which hopefully in this configuration we should be able to fit a Super King, but it will be the length of a double. We'll see how that works, otherwise Luke and I might have to switch directions of how we're going to sleep and go across the Caravan rather than sleeping.
The double length is fine, I'll just sleep diagonally and it will be squashed off to one side. Perfect. Now that the HappiJac frame is in, we've got to actually make the bed platform that our mattress will sit on. And we're making it out of 80/20 aluminium. Why? Because I had a mate who had some left over from another project, and because it's super strong and quite easy to work with. So now what we've got to do is cut all this 80/20 to length, bolt it together and install the bed platform.
One of the frustrating things that we've found whilst installing this HappiJac, and a lot of people find the same thing, is the installation instructions are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So this is not a how-to, this is how we've done it. The install We think it's right, but it's actually really hard to tell if it is being installed correctly or not, because as I said, the instructions are just really bad. Another thing we've noticed since installing it is that we've actually got the toy hauler HappiJac rather than just the normal bed lift system. So it actually has two mounting points, one for where the bed would usually be and one for a couch at the bottom. We don't have the fixings for the bottom couch, and obviously we don't have the space to have another bed underneath anyway. And when we were ordering it, there was no different options. What it does mean is that the legs are quite a bit longer than what we were hoping, and that then affects where we can install our tunnel boots on the outside.
So you might have seen me giving this a bit of a whack, because what I want is like this one. It does slide back and forward reasonably well. Whereas this one, I think I've just got the holes underneath here slightly too far towards the edge, so the bolts are actually catching quite badly. I've made those holes a bit bigger, so hopefully it slides a little bit more easier now. Well, that first bit's gone in easily enough, but if there's one thing that I've learned in this project, it's that nothing comes easy.
It's all been pretty easy.
Hey?
It's all been pretty easy.
It's not been easy at all.
What's not been easy?
There's been so many times I've had to remake stuff and put it back together.
Nothing like the van.
Yeah, but this is just as bad.
No way it's not.
Oh, you don't know. You haven't even been here. Put this bracket on and forgot that I need bolts in the middle to put the crossbeams in.
Let's see if this thing works. Luke has jimmied up his cordless battery to see if we can power the bed lift and see it work.
Oh, I'll just do everything then.
Oh, I can do it. Oh my gosh!
Do we want to check the windows? Like a glove! Now the front.
Ooh!
Now how far does it go down? That's it, that's how high it will be. Is that right?
I guess so.
Well, we can put it on the lower
Brackets. But then it won't go up as high.
Minor crisis. This wire got caught up in the motor and tore apart, which it's the top stop to stop it going any further. Basically it shuts it off when you hit it, but if there is no power to it, then there is no go. So it won't go up. It could come down, but it won't go up. So now I've just got to go and reconnect these and hopefully it works. Crisis averted. Where did I do it? There we go. Got my new little connectors, solder things. So that wire is all reconnected. So it doesn't happen again, as I'm just tidying up all the wiring. Lucky we've got like 45 meters of this cord.
What's that big power cord for?
This one?
Yes.
I think like running some big power for a big motor.
What for?
Well, because we need to connect to the battery.
Oh. Are you connecting to the battery now?
No, but I'm having the cord, enough cord, because I can run it up here and then just close it off and it's done.
Ah, nice. Not just a pretty face.
Not even now. Only our New Zealand audience will get that reference.
We barely have an audience, let alone a New Zealand audience.
God, ye of little faith.
What are these clippy things that you're using? Is this instead of soldering?
Yeah, and these are Wago connectors, or Wago, I suppose. Wago connectors I prefer. They're just, I like them because they're quite a solid connection straight away. Instead of soldering or crimping or whatever you feel like doing.
Is it because you're scared of soldering and crimping?
No, crimping is fine. Soldering just requires a soldering iron, which I do not have. Well, I do, but it doesn't work very well. Mostly because of operator error. Let's put the cover on. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ooh, yeah. It's working again. Bit wobbly.
Well, as a chain. So as the chain goes, because the bottom is
Oh, and the chain hasn't been thingy-majiggied, tensioned.
true, but also the bottom doesn't look like a gear. I think it's just like a
Just like a
bearing type thing. So that's the thing that it's like clunking on.
But also that has to be tensioned, remember? We have to tension these chains, although that one actually looks pretty good. Oh, there's a chain behind here too. So there's one in each one of these legs, and then one up in this area, which nobody knows how to fix that if that's a problem. And in our configuration, we can't get to that chain, whereas if you actually can install this bed frame anyway, so you could have it this way, or you could have it sort of turned by 45 degrees. And that would then, obviously, the chain would be across here, which is often the way that they're installed in vans. But we wanted it this way so that the legs are out of the way. We're just lowering the bed down onto the bottom brackets because we've found that at the top, on the top brackets, it's fine and the bed would be nice and high, but when coming down to the bottom, it would actually be almost sitting at the same height as the kitchen. So dropping it down to the lower brackets means that hopefully it will still go reasonably high and high enough to have a mattress and things in, but coming down lower will mean that it will sit on the couch, which is what it's meant to do.
Next step is putting the cross members in. I'm going to bolt them up, get that all squared away, and then work on the platform.
As you can see, the bed is made. We didn't film the platform being made because it is just plywood on top of the bed frame. As you can see, we have managed to fit a Super King bed in here, and
It is huge.
it is huge.
Too big for a caravan.
It's actually quite comfy.
So overall, putting this bed lift in wasn't too difficult, even with the lack of instructions. So far it looks like it'll perform quite well, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see and use it.
Perform. How does
Well,
it
I've
be?
always got to perform when there's a bed involved. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
So if you liked this video, please make sure you give us a big thumbs up.
And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
We've got loads more videos that are coming. The next one is our plumbing video where hopefully Luke doesn't set this caravan alight and we get some hot water. See you next time. Good angle. Yeah. Higher is hotter.
Size is important, darling.